Let's see here. Can everyone see me? Lighting. Touch. Can I move it like this? It kind of like. All right, let's try this out. If not, let's see here. Just doing a couple testing. I want to see if I can get it like this. Let's see if I move it this way. Okay, so you can't. Let me just see something. Can you guys view it? Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. All right, we are here. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to use it like this because it's gonna. Come on, phone. I got a really bad tripod. Come on, dude. Come on, tripod. I need a new tripod. Here we go. Okay. All right. I think we're good. So come on in, survivors. Oh, this is the first time we're trying this out. So, yeah. Come on in, guys. We got 3 in. We got a like. Thanks, guys. Just looking on my Chromebook. Okay, this is what I wanted to do. Here we go. Okay, so I know this sounds good. If I do turn it, it's going to be uneven, right? Let me just double check. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. That's good to know. All right. Come on in, survivors and newcomers. Make sure to hit subscribe button below. Click notification to all. Hello, El Osito. How you doing today on this Monday? We got a cool. Like this video and share. So today is something different. I normally stream video games and you see my face, but I wanted to do something different today. I wanted to do the first live discussion. You see more of me. This is strictly for my experience with New York Comic Con this year, 2025. I only went the one day, but the one day was enough for me. As you can see, I went on a Friday. backwards. How do I switch that around? Okay. So I'd have to do that. I could do that too. Let me see if I do this. You might be able to see me better. Then I can interact. All right, let's see. So now when I try this, how does it look? So you can see it. Let me see. All right, trying to get as much light. All right, you guys can hear me. All right, you guys can hear me. All right, good. Yes. All right, we're just gonna do it like that. We're just following this. We got Matilly McKenzie. Hey, welcome to the stream. All right, I'm just gonna do it like this. It's just easier. So I'm actually in my studio. This is where I do voiceover recordings. I haven't done ones in a while, but this is where I do for, I've sent out auditions like on Casting Call Club. This is where I done for where I made my demo, which is actually on my channel. It's on the creative project section. So this is I use. Whoa, what happened here? Whoa. Okay. Hold on. We had a little bit of a fall. You Spanish? No, I'm not Spanish. I'm Italian, American. Hola, oh hi. Can you do one for me? What would you like me to do for you? I'm just gonna put this. Come on. Okay. All right. Before we do anything, I'm just gonna to share this. We are live. So if I go away, it's just because I'm sharing. Okay, let's see who else we got here. All right, 2 likes, 3 people on the call. All right, why don't we do this? I'm gonna have it like this for now, and then when I start the stuff that I got, then I'm gonna turn it around. This way I can see you guys a little better. There's got to be a way that you guys can see it so that it's not reverse for you. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. While I can also see me. All right. That's good for now. All right. Finally, 10 minutes in. This is not my bag, But anyway, thank you guys for coming on in. This is something I normally don't do. If you are a subscriber, normally you would see me streaming a game and you see my face. Usually it's on the bottom left side of the screen. But I wanted to do this today and maybe see how this goes. I could be doing future announcements like this, live future announcements, and some other videos that I haven't planned. I could say, Hola, Matilly McKenzie. ¿Cómo estás? Um, but yeah, so we're here to talk about New York Comic Con. For those in the States, most likely probably heard of it. It's a very popular pop culture convention. Used to be comic books, but kind of delved into more pop culture. Famous celebrities now attend. Um, People that are outside the States. It's just like a big convention if you're a big fan. If you've heard of, let's say it starts with probably Star Trek with some of the early conventions in the 70s. I actually looked it up. The earliest Star Trek convention was January 1972. So you get a feel for how long it's been going on for. This is strictly for pop culture. They now have anime conventions. They have conventions for everything under the sun. So San Diego started their convention in the early 70s. And then New York's didn't start till 2006. So it hasn't been around for too long. It's been less. Actually, next year is going to be the 20th anniversary for the New York Comic Con. Big Ant Zombie, what's up, man? You off today? Also, what was your favorite part of the con? Oh yeah, what's up, Notorious Space? I'm going to get on to that. How you doing? I'm not off today, but I have work, but it's much later in the day, so I have time to be doing this. Um, what was my favorite part of the con? I'm going to get to this, but probably meeting Troy Baker was probably numero uno. Um, that was probably the most epic part. And those who don't know Notorious Base, make sure you give him a subscribe and like. I actually went with him to Comic Con. We met up and some other friends. And he got to meet some really awesome celebrities. I don't know if you want me to share that on here, unless you wanted to, unless you wanted that to be your own thing, maybe you do on your channel. But yeah, he got to meet some really awesome celebrities. I was just excited to at least meet a few. Um, okay, so yeah, so he met David Hayter, who's the voice actor of Solid Snake. He also met a bunch of the other voice actors. I don't know their names, but I think he met the voice artist of Otacon and uh, Naomi Hunter. Who else? Sniper, was it Sniper Wolf? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know for sure. And maybe another person too. Um, but he met a huge cast. He did the photo op, and he did the autograph, and he got he got some nice photos with David Hayter, to be honest, and also the guy who voices Otacon. So he showed me that. Me, I met Troy Baker, Otacon. Oh, Liquid Snake. That's right. Forgot about Liquid Snake. Dr. Naomi Hunter, Sniper Wolf, and Snake. Awesome. So yes. So and they signed his black labeled PS1 Metal Gear Solid case, which is pretty awesome. I had gotten mine signed by Troy Baker. I'm going to share a little after. I'm going to turn it around. Actually, when I do this, does it appear backwards on your end? Because it looks like, oh, wait, no, it's good. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Never mind. Let's see if I go like this. I think it's backwards. You can let me know if it's backwards for you. I don't know. Because it's backwards for me. I'm hoping that it switches, but I don't know. Maybe there's a way. Let me see here. I'm so excited for you, man. You got to meet one of your favorite people, Troy, and it looks fine to me. All right. So if I go like this is not backwards. You could see Resident Evil. I have to flip it. I put the retouch on. Looks good. But yeah, so Troy Baker is definitely one of my heroes. He heavily inspired me to. Okay, it is backwards. All right. He did heavily inspire me as a to get into voice acting. So I'm definitely going to dive more into it. I want to start from kind of the beginning. So I went on Friday. Uh, Friday. This was October 10th. This past Friday. I had went in a little late because I actually got the will call ticket. This was will call because I haven't gone in 10 years. The last time I went with some family members. It was back in 2015. I had gone 3 years in a row the last 10 years, 2013, 14, 15. A lot has changed. But I think there's been a lot for the good, actually. And I'll say one of the great things this year was their usage of the disabled pass for those who, for the ADA. That's something they really implemented really well. American Disabilities Act. My my sister who I went with, she has ADA pass. And also I know Base, I know one of our friends as well. And so they kind of put you on a VIP pass, and it was good. It was good for them. It was good for us. So we were able to kind of get online and stuff for get online ahead of certain things. Now we couldn't go on the VIP pass to wait for Troy Baker. Um, but the wait wasn't that long for those. It might seem long if you never did it, but I waited probably from an hour to about an hour and a half for the autograph. Basically, when you meet a celebrity at Comic Con, mostly, if especially if it's a famous one, you either get two options: the autograph section or the photo op, or you could do either or both. I did the autograph, and then I also got a selfie. If you've been seeing my recent posts on YouTube, on Instagram, I posted a picture where he actually Troy took my phone and he did an aerial selfie shot. And I also took a photo with Allison Court. She's another person I met as well. Voice actress of Claire Redfield in the original Resident Evil 2 and Code Veronica. I don't know if she did Revelations 2 or not. She might have, I'm not sure. But she also is a lot of people know her as Lunette the Clown from the Big Comfy Couch, which is it was like a Canadian kids like junior kids TV show that a lot of millennials my age, maybe a little younger, grew up on. So a lot of them know her from that. I didn't really know who that was. I didn't grow up on that. You know, I just knew her for Claire. She also did the voice of Jubilee from X-Men animated series, and she also did she's X-Men. I'm pretty sure in 97 she reprised her role as Jubilee, which is cool. So she was Claire up until 2015, where they brought on new people for Revelation 2 and Resident Evil 2 remake. All right, thank you for that, Base. I know Resident Evil 2 remake is voiced by Stephanie Panicello. I don't know who voices Claire then in Revelations 2 because it's not Stephanie. But yeah, that was cool. Allison was very funny. She's from Toronto, such as Canadian. Sweet, funny, down to earth, very approachable. What was cool about her, and I'm going to get to Catherine Disher. They both were actually on a table that was inside the showroom. So basically, the Comic Con in New York, which happens at the Javits Center, which by the way is massive. It's so huge. Um, they're kind of broken up into sections. So you have the showroom, which is probably the biggest area. You have all the booths and everything, and there's even celebrities in pockets. So in one of the pockets, thanks to Base, thank you for showing me where she was. I was able to find them. Um, they had a little table. What's so cool about finding a celebrity in the showroom is it's not a long wait. Ali Hillis did Revelations too. All right, cool. Um, yeah, what's so cool about finding a celebrity in that area is you're not really expecting it. Like I saw, so on that same table, Catherine Disher, Allison Court, and I didn't get to meet him, but I saw him right next to Catherine was Cal Dodd, who voiced Wolverine in X-Men animated series, and he also did X-Men '97. He was taking photos. A lot of people seem to be talking to him. When I first interacted with Catherine, she had her head down. She was eating something. I was so surprised nobody was going up to her. Almost kind of felt bad. But until I spoke to her, I actually like her face seemed very familiar. She mentioned to me Residents of Evil that she's been on. That's a really good YouTube channel. Um, she's been on that channel. She talked to me about. I asked her. I had a nice conversation with her. Uh, I asked what it was like filming when she did Resident Evil 3, if you remember that long ago. And she says, "Yeah, I do remember. It was an interesting experience. Not something that she didn't really know what she was doing. She didn't know what it was at the time. Uh, but then she's recently tried to play it, I think, on Residents of Evil channel, and she couldn't beat it. She's like, it's really hard. And then I even said, it's so weird that there's no normal level difficulty. There's only a easy and a hard. And I said the way you're supposed to play it is on hard. And she's like, yeah, it's a very hard game. The Nemesis guys, she's like, it's really scary. I'm like, I know. I'm like, it's that Nemesis guy. He's a pain in the butt. Um, and then what was so cool was I was telling her about voice acting. I told her I met with Troy. So Troy Baker was the first celebrity that I met that day. I'm going to get into that interaction, of course, as well. But I was telling her about my inspiration for voice acting, and she actually referred me to two places. She referred me to it's like an online class from this a famous Canadian voice actor. She's done a lot of work over the years. Her name is Sunday Muse, and she has her own website called bigvoices.com. Is it big great voices or something like that? Let me double check. Big great sorry, greatbigvoices.com. She does a 3-month course, and it's like it sort of fast tracks you to from basically like union work. As normally you start as non-union, you get into union work. Very, it's very similar to acting, where the goal is to get an agent. Um, but yes, she basically said that helps you fast track. She's probably friends with her because they're all from Canada. But you can. What's great is I'm gonna consider it in the new year, and I did look it up. It's a legit website. It's not a scam or anything. I doubt that she would be scamming me anyway. But yeah, it's an extensive list of experience this woman's done. Sunday Muse. I think some of the stuff she's done was like Care Bears and Hotel Transylvania was one of them. But apparently, she's a really good coach. And then she helps you to create your demo as well, which is what you want. It is expensive, but it sounds like it is worth it. She does a 3-month course, and then she also does a 5-week private course. So I'm going to consider that in the new year. I got a lot of projects going on right now up until the end of this year, so I don't have time for that, but I'm going to get to that in the new year. She also gave me the website to a talent agency. It's called Tada VoiceWorks. That's good for new voice actors that are trying to get an agent. And you go on there and has a bunch of different voice talent names with their demo reels. So she gave me some really good referrals. And then we were talking about what quote she wanted to do. So I just said, I said the classic one. You want stars? I'll give you stars. So why don't I do this? I'm going to flip this. I'm going to show you guys. This way you can see it well. Okay, so I can get this going. All right, what's good is I can see from. All right, so this is Catherine Disher. She signed. So this is Jill Valentine for Resident Evil 3. You guys can see that pretty good. All right, so it says, you want stars, I'll give you stars. It says, lovely to meet you, Anthony. All the best. Catherine Disher, Jill, and then her signature. So this is something I'm definitely gonna put in a nice place, put maybe in a case or something, or put it in a photo album. So that's good. The next thing is Allison Court. Allison Court, I met right after Catherine. Was on the same table. I was like, hey, I think I said, hey, Allison, or whatever. And then I even said, I just met with Catherine. She was really nice. And the first thing she said, Catherine's nice, like as like a joke. So she was funny. Allison had her publicist right there. And obviously, too, what I forget to say is when you do get an autograph or you do get a picture, it does cost. I didn't get a picture with Catherine. I got her autograph. It's $60. It was $60 for the autograph, $40 for a picture, but they did do a combo where it's like 80. So I just did the autograph for Catherine because I already spent money with Troy. And Allison, I figured Allison is she's done extensive work. So I got a picture with her plus the autograph. So it came up to 80 as a combination. So when she asked me what quote, my mind kind of went blank from Claire. It's like, oh God, I guess I don't. I'm not as good of a Claire fan as I wanted to, make myself out to be. But and then I remembered, one where she's talking to Sherry, and so she said the one that I was actually hoping she did. So she put, "Wait, don't you trust me?" So she put the quote where she even said how creepy of it for like for an adult to say that to a child, and the way she says it in the game is so creepy. So I also got to talking to her about Resident Evil 2. I said, what was it like? And she was saying at the time with her and Paul Haddad, RIP, rest in peace. He died, I think, during COVID from cancer. When they were younger, they kind of looked at each other like, what is this? What the hell? What are we doing here when they filmed it? And I think they said they filmed it in Toronto. They had no idea what it was. They just know that it was fun. It was campy. Yeah, so this just says so that's what it was too. She asked me if I wanted to grab the RE2 one because there was one with her and Paul. My friend Base had already gotten that one, so I wanted to get the Code Veronica one. It just looked cool, so I just grabbed that one, and it's the same size as a Resident Evil 3 one with Catherine, so I grabbed this one instead. And she even says, she's like, is it okay if I use the quote from Resident Evil 2 on the Code Veronica? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So this says to Anthony, wait, don't you trust me? And then it says her signature, Claire Redfield. And then we took a photo. The publicist, I gave my phone to the publicist. He took like a bunch. So I just put the best one on there. What was so cool was if you look on the photo, she has a hat has all the keys from Evil 2. She's got the spade key, the diamond key, the club key, and the heart key. So that was so cool that she was wearing that. And she was also wearing like this kind of like red leather vest. I think that's supposed to be uh, like Claire's vest. So she was actually wearing it that day, which was really cool. So that was a fun experience meeting Allison as well. She was interesting. She was like definitely like bubbly, outgoing. Catherine was a lot more chill, but both of them were very nice. And now we go to my boy Troy. I had went on the line with Notorious Bass, um, and Notorious Bass's partner, and yeah, we went on the line. We waited for like an hour to hour and a half. This was in the autograph section. The two of them had gone and done a photo op with them, I think. No, it was with Ashley Johnson. By the way, Ashley Johnson voices Ellie. Um, there was a young woman behind us who was dressed up as Ellie, who has gone to other cons, and she told me that she had met at a Rhode Island convention, which I didn't even know they had. She had met the cast of the Breakfast Club. She met Molly Ringwald, and she's wearing the same cosplay. She was all bloodied, and Molly Ringwald was like, "Are you okay? Is everything all right there?" And she, the fake blood that Ellie had. So that was funny. But she also got to meet Amelia Estevez, Judd Nelson, Anthony Michael Hall, and Ali Sheedy. Besides Molly Ringwald, she said that Anthony Michael Hall was really funny. Um, so yeah, so we waited online. It was like I said, about an hour and a half because you have to kind of wait there until the actor comes out. The agent has to come out with them, and it's a huge. I mean, these rooms are massive. Like the scale, you can't even imagine. Um, so we waited. It honestly, an hour and a half is not bad. There's people I hear that they wait for like 3 hours, 4 hours. So yeah, so we finally got it. We didn't have the ADA line. There was like two lines they had. One was the regular, and then there was like a shorter, slimmer line that was for ADA. So we finally get up there. I brought my game, but it's the same thing. You go up, you actually meet the publicist first. She had this like silvery white hair. She almost looked like Sniper Wolf, you know, very attractive. But yeah, so you go up to her and then like you pay and then like you decide what you want to do. Do you want to just get an autograph? Do you want to just get a photo or do you want to do both? So same he was the same cost as Allison and Catherine. So I did the combo. I did the autograph and I also did the selfie. So uh Notorious Bass met him first. He's like, "Hey," and then it was up to me. I was I wasn't like starstruck. So I meet him. I shake his hand. I'm like, "Hey, Joel," and he was so chill. He was so calm. He was so zen. Like very, thin, tall, great hair. He had the hipster uh, glasses. But he was so cool. He was just the coolest dude. And this sort of he sort of gave off this very calm, chill, but confident vibe to him. So I go up and I told him that this game that I told him I said this was the first game that I ever pre-ordered, like me personally, and he's like, "Wow." Um, and what did I say? I think I said I told him I'm an aspiring voice actor, and this is probably the nicest advice he said. He kind of looked at me, or he looked down because he's tall. He looked at me, and he's like, don't use the word aspiring. You're selling yourself short. Like you are a voice actor. Basically, like no, I don't. which which was really it was really nice that he said that. We got some comments. Jennifer Hale, who did Dr. Hunter, also did the voice of Bayonetta and female Commander Shepard from Mass Effect, and Mrs. Keen from Powerpuff Girls, and many more. Yeah, no, it was truly an amazing experience. He was so nice, and and what was so great was I didn't even think to take it out, but he took it out. He took this out himself. I didn't even have to ask him or have to do it myself. I didn't even think to do that. I thought he was just going to sign the top, but he took it out so that it's covered, so he did that on his own. And then I took out, it was like a Post's note combo. I'm like, I got the combo. And so he signed it in this cool golden color. So here it is. So this is the original PS3 Last of Us, the OG. I could show you guys, get a good light. But yeah, so it's his signature. And then, I gave him my phone and he took that aerial shot, and I think I shook his hand one more time and, smiled. I think that was it. It was a brief conversation, but he was a nice guy. He was a nice guy, and it felt like he was personable, even in that brief time. Not only did he feel like obviously he's a celebrity, but it also felt like he was a colleague too, which was really cool. It was a surreal experience, just like meeting the other two, but especially Troy, who has done, he's done work that you don't even realize what he's done. I know some of the stuff offhand. So obviously Joel Miller from Last of Us is most iconic. He's also done Booker DeWitt from Bioshock Infinite. He's done recently with Death Stranding on the beach. I don't know the character's name, but he's got like a guitar. I think he's a villain. He's done a young Joker in Batman Arkham Origins. He's done Harrison Ford in the Indiana Jones The Great Circle, which came out this year as well. He's also done the voice of the guy from Infamous, I think. Higgs, that's right. Thanks, Base. I'm just looking at the chat here. Okay. He's also done the voice of Wesker's son in Resident Evil 6. I don't know his name. Jake Muller. Jake Muller. He's done the voice of Jake Muller. What else has he done? He's done an endless amount of work. It's pretty remarkable. He also even had a cameo on the show The Last of Us in 2023, season 1. He plays sort of like the henchman, second in command to David, like the creepy guy. He's the one that Bella Ramsey takes. Well, I'm not going to say, but you know what I mean. But if you've seen it. So he actually has done also, acting roles, not just voiceover. He's done a lot of mo capture, especially for The Last of Us. He's done his works is incredible. He also did Nathan Drake's brother in Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. So he plays Nathan Drake's brother. I forget his name. It's something Drake. I just don't know. Is it like Nick Drake or something? I gotta look this up. But yeah, he plays the brother of Nathan Drake, and he worked alongside Nolan North. He also even has a YouTube channel, and I think also on his Instagram, I saw that he's like a musical artist too. He's based out of Dallas, Texas, so he grew up in Texas, which makes a sense. He sort of has a Matthew McConaughey kind of zen-like to him, Sam Drake, thanks, Base. Thanks for clarifying. Sam Drake, that's right. But yeah, just one more time. But yeah, so that was an amazing experience. I have seen celebrities I've interacted with, but not to this extent ever. I think my other big interactions I had with a celebrity when I interned years ago at SiriusXM in the city was with Mark Hoppus of Blink 182. That was a great experience, but this was unlike any celebrity experience I've ever had. So it's pretty remarkable. Um, and what I've learned and find is that voice actors tend to be a lot more approachable as celebrities than your normal celebrity who's on TV or a movie. And I think because they're behind the scenes, I think it's more, I feel I've learned that the voice acting community is a lot more supportive. Uh, they're more supportive of each other than like Hollywood. So that was some experience I had. Um, so yeah, those were the three celebrities: Troy Baker, Allison Court, and Catherine Disher. Amazing. But another really good experience was after all that, I had first gone online for there's the Capcom booth in the showroom. They had a bunch of other games, like they had Pragmata. You can wait on the line, which these lines were much shorter. Monster Hunter and Unimusha. They were sort of on the side, but the big one I was trying to get into was Resident Evil Requiem. Right, so that had like this big. It was this big room. They had to go and it was closed off. It had the big on the side, like sort of the picture of Grace Ashcroft. Um, so I tried early on when I first got there. I had tried to get in, but the line wasn't moving. So I'm like, why don't we wait till later? Luckily, my sister, she helped me kind of move the line much faster because of her 88 pass. We were able to get ahead. And then she left with my nephew. They left. They had to go to the bathroom. And then we kind of told the workers, like, can you hold the line? And then they, kind of messaging back and forth, like they're going to let in people soon. Um, so then they told me, just go if we don't get there in time. So I go, they open it. Basically, you go in. It's basically like a computer room, kind of like if you had computer room class in school, but it's dark and they have all these monitors and tables. Um, and so each of the tables had one of these pins, a Resident Evil Requiem Capcom pin, which is like this is a rare this is a rare thing. You're only going to get this from something like going to Comic Con and playing the demo. So this was kind of on top of the monitor. Um, and Yeah, so you go in, you get the option to either play the PS5 or the Switch 2. I'm like, I'm not doing Switch. Come on. So play the PS5 version. You see it right there, Resident Evil Requiem or Resident Evil 9. It doesn't say 9, but that's what it is. You click, you start, it gives you the instructions of the buttons. I think there was even a sheet to tell you, which you don't really need, but it gives you the option before you start the demo to play first or third person. So basically, what it says is, do you want to play the demo how it's recommended, which is in first person, or do you want to switch it? So I stuck with first person. I wanted to be immersed in the experience and be terrified, and I was. Um, I know it's been online. I think it's been on YouTube. You can kind of see it, so there's no stranger to it. But you basically wake up in an abandoned hospital as Grace Ashcroft, who's the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft, who was a character, Alyssa Ashcroft, from the Resident Evil Outbreak game. So they're actually taking from that, which is cool. Outbreak and File Number 2. So that was cool. So she's kind of like suspended upside down. They're kind of drawing blood from her. She escapes. She has to like move her body. She escapes. You're in this really well lit kind of like room at first. You explore. It's similar to Resident Evil 7, first person. Like I said, I'm playing it on first person. And then once you leave that really brightly room, You enter this completely dark hallway, where there's like a red emergency light by the reception that's closed, and there's like different hallways, and then you go, there's some light from the outside, but it's almost pitch black. So you go, you walk, you start to see that there's these big holes in the ceiling. You're like, where is that coming from? So then you go into, it looks like you go into a room where there's like cabinets. It's probably like where they keep medicine and stuff. So at some point it gets so dark that there's no way to see. So then you have to turn around and then you go out, and then another hallway reveals to you by the reception desk. So you got to kind of make a left. You go down there, you click on this light switch, and then it reveals a section down the hallway, this long corridor of this random carousel. It's like a horse carousel that's tucked away in an alcove. Very strange. So you know how Resident Evil is with their weird architecture. So then you go down. There's some rooms that are locked, so you can't get them. You find that there's one missing fuse box to turn the power on. Basically, the goal is you want to get to the other section of the hospital that's all lit up. It basically is enclosed by a gate. In order to open it, it needs both fuse boxes. So then you enter another room, very similar to the first room that you went in, it's sort of like a patient's room. The layout of this hospital, especially the rooms, it feels more like an older style kind of hospital. Uh, it's an interesting look to it. The colors are very hospital like. It has that sort of green, uh, that green minty aesthetic, like going into like a dentist office. Um, but yeah, so then eventually you make your way and you find like a screwdriver. Um, yeah, you find a screwdriver and you find a lighter. Well, you find the lighter first. The lighter is what helps you. Then you got to go all the way back. Go all the way back to that room I said before with the cabinets. There's like a door. Once you open it, what's so funny is I knew about the dead corpse, but when I was playing, I forgot. I was like, So a corpse jumps out you, not to attack you, but it falls on you, and it basically looks like a zombie. And right when you're looking at it, all of a sudden, this creepy. We're talking like Cloverfield kind of model. This hand just grabs, and then you look up and it's this gigantic, looks kind of female but creature. This gigantic creature bites the head off, bites the head off of this corpse, complete head off. It's actually based off of that artwork. I forget what it's called, like Saturn or something like that. Saturn eating his son, something like that, from like Roman or Greek mythology. That bites the head off, and then it gets in your face. It's like really crazy stuff. Really gets in your face, and then like you're just there, and then so like it starts to approach you, and you're like, "What do I do?" So I run back. I go all the way to the first room. Now it's coming after me, so I'm just moving as fast as I can. This is in first person mode, so it's terrifying. So I go in, I go into the open light. I go sort of like the middle area where there's like another light. The creature, I'm waiting there. Nothing's happening. Finally, creature comes in. It walks for a bit, you know. It walks in until all of a sudden it starts to burn, and then it turns around. It goes back out. So light, it's weak against light. One of the biggest things I'll take away, especially in first person, is that it feels like Alien Isolation. That's kind of what I was getting at. It was very Alien Isolation esque, which I really liked. So I really do love that game. So then finally, you wait a little more. You go down. You also there's this crouching method. You don't want to. The fear of just like in Alien Isolation, where there's exposed roofs, right? Sorry, exposed ceiling. The creature can come down and just grab you. So you kind of want to crouch underneath those areas. So you go back to that room because you there's stuff in there. There's like this big toolkit that you got to get to, and that's you get with the screwdriver. So you go in, everything's knocked over. There's like a closet. You like start to like hear something, and you can hear her like panting and breathing. She's terrified, Grace, and you feel her terror. You open it. It's an herb, but I didn't do that because like the monster is coming. So I hide underneath like a bunch of broken desks and stuff. The creature comes down, and it's like you can hear that the creature is sniffing you, like the creature is trying to smell where you are, sniffing you around. It's looking around, it's going around, stuff like that. I just stayed there until it left. I leave. I grab the herb. Then there's like some kind of thing you can move over so you can climb on top of something. And then that's when I went to the toolkit. Right when I'm about to click on it, that's when the demo ended. So I don't know if it was a timer thing or the demo just ends once you get to the toolbox. I'm not sure which is which. Also, what's great is my sister and my nephew did find they were able to just make it in time to play the demo. So they had the opportunity to also play it. Nephew loved it, terrifying. My sister loved it too. She played it on third person. She said it was really good in third person. She can't do first person because of the motion sickness, but she was able to play in third person, which is cool. So that was an awesome experience. And pre-orders are now October 29th. And I'm definitely going to pre-order this. So that was exciting. So that was awesome. How we got here? All right. Oh, good. All right. We're doing it right on time, guys. The other big thing I saw was towards the end of the night in the showroom. Oh, before I even get to that, I saw this actor. I got to look him up. I didn't get to interact with him because he was busy, but this was in the showroom, once again, in sort of a pocket in the showroom where you might spot a couple of celebrities. I saw this actor, David Dastmalchian. He's a character actor. He's done a lot of supporting roles. One of his biggest role was 2 years ago when he was the main character in Late Night with the Devil. And he plays sort of like a late night host, but they invite a girl who's possessed. Very good scary movie, and the way the aesthetic of the movie was like it's like from the 70s, 80s, like around that area, like Carson, like it's like around the Johnny Carson era. So he's an actually really good actor. So I saw him. He was like in a suit and everything. He looked really good, and he was like on this, you know, really long phone call. Like he was really, he was. So I didn't get to see him. I didn't get to meet him, but I did see him like across. So that was cool. So he was there on Friday, and then the other thing is I met a best-selling author. I don't know his name, but I looked him up. Matthew Wolf. He's a best-selling fantasy author on Amazon, and I got to share my experience. So this is his book that he sold me. This was a prequel series to his series called A Ronin Saga. This is a short story that's a prequel. His name is Matthew Wolf. Matthew Wolf. It's the Amazon fantasy best-selling series. Matthew Wolf is the author of The Ronin Saga, a planned nine book epic fantasy series. When he's not writing, he's an avid martial artist. Wow, cook, and slip and slide expert. Oh, that's cool. So he was a really nice guy, really approachable. and I got him to sign his book, which was cool. So here's the signature. So he was a nice guy. I got to tell him about my book that I'm working on. So, speaking of which, Axel's Legacy. That's the fantasy first. That's the fantasy series that I'm starting. The plan is for it to come out the end of the year, around the holidays, probably around Christmas time. Um, this is also an announcement for that. Just it's getting a little warm in here. So this is a nice fan. We got a fan, but yeah. So it's it's awesome. It's just really cool. Um, but yeah. So Axel's Legacy. This is going to be a 6-part book. The first book, like I said, planned for the holiday season. It's going to be called The Fugitive's Quest. Let me see if I can find. Is there a way I can look up? Yeah. Okay. Let me this look up for. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna share with you guys the. You guys hear me all right? Yeah. All right. When I get a chance, I'm going to. When I get a chance, guys, I will share that with you with the synopsis. I don't have it with me right now. But anyway, I can give you a little idea about what it is. A character, Axel, wakes up in a prison, underground prison, in sort of this kingdom, this castle kingdom, and he has no recollection of who he is. Well, he knows a little bit about himself, like he knows generally how old he is. He knows his name. Um, he knows about some things about the world that he lives in, Luxia. That's the world. He knows. Come on. He knows about this magical place in the center. You know what? I'm just gonna say center. I'm not gonna tell you where because it's you find out where it is later on in the story. This magical place called the Promised Land, and it's supposed to help you. It's supposed to tell you like what your destiny is, what your purpose is. It also tells you like your past, your present, and your future. So it's a very magical land, the Promised Land. You don't really know where it is. You find out later. So anyway, he has a vision. He has all these premonitions. He looks up through a sewer grate because once again he's underground. He's looking up the stars because it's a starry night in this place called Chevix. It's a kingdom of Chevix. It's a city with a castle and a king. And he looks up at the sky and he has a premonition. And the premonition is he's with a random group of people and they're traveling to the Promised Land. Then he has a second vision that Chevix, the city he's in now, is in a blazing inferno. It's just burned to the ground, right? Um, so he's excited and terrified, and he's like, I gotta get out. I gotta escape. He doesn't know why or how he got there. Basically, woke up, looks at himself in the mirror. He remembers his name, roughly how old he is. Uh, his last name is Handler. It says on the thing on his. They're basically he's in a cell by himself. It's like it's almost like a death row place. Like it's like the worst criminals go in this city if you do some heinous crime. So he did something awful. He doesn't know what it is. He has no recollection. Suffers from amnesia. While this is happening, there's other events that occur this night. So we go to Eva, Princess Eva, who's the daughter of the king. She's getting married on the same night that all this is happening. While that's happening, well, she's planning to get married. Now, in this world, the way that marriage works is a combination of arranged and choices. So she has a choice of what prince she wants to marry out of five that are chosen to go to the ceremony. Sebastian is a character that's going to be known later. He's one of those courtiers. Courtiers. Meanwhile, while that's happening, sorry, before I go to the next character, Eva's not. She doesn't know. She's very hesitant to get married, but her servant, not really a servant, her guardian, who kind of watches over her. His name is Sidney Irvine. He kind of makes her dress for her. So he kind of watches her wherever she goes, in a way, kind of like a publicist. So then we go to a poor side of the city, an area that has not been looked over, though, sort of like the everyday average citizens who are suffering. I mean, they're living in Vile, they're living in everything's destroyed. There was a reactor like a year prior that blew up. Reactor, it was like a mining explosion. That's where they get all their fuel and stuff. And the leader of this group in the slums is called Jinx Taylor. She's this petite, but she's a militarized, woman. She's a very strong, no nonsense. If you think of like Sarah Connor, she's basically like Sarah Connor. She's a huge tomboy. She leads this group. She leads like 1,000 of her people to that very night attack and lead an assault on the castle. So all this is happening in one night. It's almost like fate. And Eva, going back to the princess, she has a vision of being, she has two visions, just like with Axel. The first vision is like Axel, where she's with random people, some people she knows, like her father, Sid, Prince, Sebastian. They're leading to the promised land. And also she has another vision where she's in a cavern of mirrors, and it's kind of showing the characters, I guess, either what they want to hear, some of them. It can show their future, their past, their present. You don't really know what it's showing, but it's showing every character. Some characters are being tormented, some are being exhilarated. She sees herself, I think, with this man with red spiky hair, a star over an eye, which describes Axel. Right. So basically, what causes this is when they attack the castle, leads a huge arsenal, like we're talking, weapons and things like that. So they attack the castle. In the ensuing action, Axel escapes, gets out of the prison. So that's all I'm going to end there. I'm not going to say what happens, but that's just to give you a snippet of just the beginning of A Fugitive's Quest. So it's going to be good. And right now it's over. I'm done with it. I'm just making final touches. I keep finding little things. So I might have to take a hiatus maybe in November to make sure that book is done and ready to go for the holidays. So watch for community posts. But when the book comes out, I'm going to do kind of like this. I'm going to do a book release for when it comes out. All right. So I just wanted to give that little update with you guys. The name as my pen name is going to be AF Vecchio. It's not going to be Ant Zombie Slayer. That's my pen name, AF Vecchio. So look for that. Axel's Legacy, and the first book in the series, A Fugitive's Quest. All right, so we got to meet this guy, some other things, other paraphernalia were just kind of free stuff. I have this poster. This is for another author, S.G. Blaze, The Last Luminen. All right, there's a comic book artist. What else did he sell me? I think this too. Kind of just free comics. This one is nice because this one is in a sleeve. The Drifter's Legacy. Really cool. This is just the Pop Insider. It just kind of tells you. It's just like the New York Comic Con magazine. It tells you like what's in the merch store. Pretty much. All right, so that's the Pop Insider. And while I was walking with my friend, some person just randomly gave this to me, Godzilla Gazette, and it says Godzilla crushes Coney Island. That's cute. Yeah, that they made that. So you can kind of. I love Kaiju crossword. It's funny. Speaking of Godzilla, I actually did meet a cosplayer as Godzilla. They had like a little booth where it was like the side of like a subway cart, and then it's like buildings, and then someone would dress up as Godzilla. You could take a picture, like a free one. That was fun. Excited to grab a copy, man. Holiday season 2025 is going to be epic. It's going to be epic. Some other free merchandise. There was a Blumhouse booth, so they give you that. There was also what was it called? Welcome to Derry booth. I didn't get to go in, but saw it. There was even like it looked like a decrepit mansion booth where you go in, and I think it's from Batman. It's like Joker and stuff. Just some random Japanese stuff. This also 20-year anniversary of Tokidoki. This fan is actually really helpful, really good. This was an anime, Togen Anki. And there was a lot of merchandise for Chainsaw Man because the movie's coming out. I saw a lot. Another cool thing that I took a picture of is they had storyboards for some of the more popular anime. They had. I took a photo of Attack on Titan because that's one of my favorite. But they had other ones for Chainsaw Man. I think did they have one for Solo Leveling? I'm not sure. I don't think I saw that one there. They have one for Jujutsu Kaisen. But the Attack on Titan one was really cool, and I think it was a scene towards the end, the like series finale. That was cool, like the storyboards for that. But yeah, so just more regular gift card merchandise, manga. This is a Crunchyroll. They had a Crunchyroll booth too, and then I put the cards away. But I haven't purchased Pokemon cards in years. So I bought a 5-card Pokemon Japanese deck. I will share that maybe sometime next year because I do plan to have my collection of blank set of videos. I'm going to do Pokemon cards. Still have G.I. Joe toys, books, video games. I'm going to do like my collection of stuff and do it like this where it's like a live feed stream. This was what I came into with the Comic-Con. Got to basically use that QR code to get into Will Call. But since now that I've gone in, next year should be easier. I'm just going to purchase the badge that gets sent home just so I don't have to go through that again. This is a coaster also from the Barcade, the original arcade bar, circa 2004, and they have different locations in Brooklyn, New York, Philadelphia, New Haven, Connecticut, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Jersey City. So Barcade. And let me know, Base, if you want me to. I think I will on my channel, but I definitely would recommend him as well, and to also promote. But my friend Keith is an author, and he published 2 books, and I have the 2 copies. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna just turn it this way because I'm gonna go and grab those copies to show you guys. So just stick with me. I'll be right back. All right, we're back, guys. Thanks for waiting, being patient. This has not been helping me. This tripod stinks. I'm going to need to get a new one. All right. Tripod for the phone. Okay. All right, so my friend Keith, he's a published author, and as a fellow author myself, I have a lot of respect for him. So he's recently, I'm going to share what he first published. Both are on Amazon. You can get it now. A fantasy, Remnant. All right, this one was really good. Definitely check it out. I'll read the synopsis. Raylan Hearthborn, a retired swordsman turned farmer, and his uniquely gifted wife, Isla, living in a kingdom miles away from their homeland, try to create inconspicuous lives through honest hard work. That was, however, until men of the king showed up at their door with a letter. What are the contents of that letter? Enough to make any stomach churn. Ottokar, a man best described as Raylan's childhood best friend, is back in his life. A time for celebration, one may think, right? True in most cases, but in this case, quite the opposite. Along with starting this new life, Raylan had broken an oath. He had abandoned everything on the island of Hearth and left without saying a word. Now Raylan must face his past, confront his childhood best friend turned enemy, and maybe then he can return to the simplistic life he briefly had. So check it out, Remnant. Now this came out last year. This one recently came out about a month ago. So this was fantasy. This one is more of a horror, and this one is a shorter. This is a novella. This one is called Affliction, and this one I'll read. Jack Klein had always been a talented yet troubled man. His suffering fueled his music, earning him fame in Vaslif City. The cause of his suffering? A mysterious being that had tormented him for as long as he could remember. For years, the being vanished, leaving Jack with a fragile peace. Now, it has returned, more relentless than ever, with a heartbreaking goal Jack cannot allow it to reach. To stop it, Jack must embark on a journey that forces him to confront his deepest doubts, weaknesses, and insecurities. Victory will demand more than talent or fame. It will demand everything he has to give. So I started reading this. I'm up to chapter 3. It's really good so far. Definitely gonna finish that. That's a really good one. As far as my book, Axel's Legacy, my goal right now, I have to make sure that it's ready to go, so my editor can format it. And once it's formatted, I also going to be in contact with my book designer too. The person who's she designing the cover and sort of the logo as well. So stay tuned for that around the holidays. Like I said, I might have to take a month hiatus from streaming so I can get that done for you guys. All right, cool. So I wish you good luck, Keith, on Affliction and a Remnant. All right, good luck and success. But yeah, so we had our discussion. This was a lot of fun. I think definitely should be doing this more. These sort of live feeds gets to be a little more personable. You get to see my studio. This is great. So now I'm going to open the floor for anyone that's listening in for a little bit, maybe 15 minutes for a Q&A. You got any questions for me? I know there was some questions during the stream, but why don't we open it for questioning? And like I said, make sure you click subscribe button below, click notifications to all, share this video, and like it. All right, and it's free, costs you nothing, and it's worth everything. All right, so let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm going to turn it around. Let me know if you guys have any questions for me. Oh, I almost forgot. Okay, thanks for reminding me, Base. I'm going to grab a game of which one I'm going to be streaming. What is the next RE game you will be streaming? As far as Resident Evil, I do plan to do original separate ways. And then after that, as far as a full feature game, it's going to be Revelations. I think I'm up to episode 5. I do want to finish that. That's a game that I hadn't streamed in like years, and I want to finish that, and then I want to get to Revelations 2 and finish that. So that's the goal. As far as I did say, I'm going to make a shout out as to what game I'm going to be streaming next this month. So let me go and grab it. Oh, wait, we actually do got to turn it around for this. Hold on. Okay. Oh, come on, bro. Killing me here. Come on. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to reveal what's the next game I'm streaming. This is for the month of October. I feel like it's understandable for the horror month. This is a game. Thank you, Base, for getting me this game as an early birthday gift. Really appreciate it. But this is it. Here we go. Silent Hill F. That is the next one we're going to be streaming. I started. This is not a first playthrough because I already have my own save just to get a feel for it. But this is the day one edition. It did come with some features. But so far, what I played it, really good. I really like the Japanese aesthetic. I don't know exactly what the F means, but I guess we're going to find out. Silent Hill F. Let's see. We got the back as well. Unfortunately, Konami didn't really have much. I checked the Konami booth. All they had was, I think, stuff from Bandai. They didn't really have much there. I thought they'd have more Silent Hill stuff, but no, I didn't see that there at Comic Con. And I also got the cosplay at Comic Con. I got dressed up as, I call him Leon Snake because basically was Leon, but with the blue bandana that Solid Snake wears. All right, so what other questions you guys have for me? So we have a reveal. What are some other questions that you guys have for me until we finish? I figure maybe another 10 minutes. We'll go to about an hour and a half, which is a good amount. If I can get this going. Come on. Okay, good. This was a lot of fun, to be honest. And Zombie Slayer. All right, guys. So let me know what questions you guys have for me, what you want to know. Q&A. So we'll open up. Okay. Do you think we will hear about Silent Hill Townfall soon? Soon? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be soon. I think, if anything, maybe hear from like next year, but I don't think it's going to be soon. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I feel like right now they're focusing on Silent Hill 1 remake. I want them to make a uh, Born from a Wish DLC for Silent Hill 2 remake, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know why they wouldn't do that, but I recently saw a video where they said that it's not. I think the actress who plays Maria and Mary, actually on the YouTube, she was streaming Silent Hill 2 remake, and she said there's been no recordings for Born from a Wish at all. Once again, it could be an NDA. She could just be lying. I mean, I find it weird that they wouldn't even have a DLC. I mean, they did that for Resident Evil 4 remake with Separate Ways. So I'm hoping that we do get a Born from a Wish remake DLC. That would make sense, to follow suit. But we'll see. So. All right, let me know what you guys, any more questions? Those who are chilling in the stream. All right, I think I'm going to go a few more minutes. If there's another question, I'll answer. If not, I think we'll just end it here. We'll end it soon. Let me know, guys, what you want to hear. Anything else? I'm open. So once again, make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. Like this stream, share, comment when this becomes a video, and click notification to all. Helps the channel grow. We're almost at 600 subscribers. We're 3 away. So come on, guys. 3 away to 600. And the goal is to 1,000, the road to 1,000. All right, let's see. So we'll open the stream till another 6 minutes, till 1:30. See if there's any other questions anybody has about my experience or what it was like. I had shared all that earlier. Said I met Troy Baker, Allison Court, and Catherine Disher. I know Catherine Disher, like I said before, has worked with the people at Residents of Evil. I don't know if Allison Court has, but I know Catherine Disher has. And Silent Hill F, we're going to be streaming this probably this weekend, probably this Friday. We'll be starting. My goal is to maybe get it done in 3 to 4 parts. This game is not too long. I think it's like on average, it's like 8 to 10 hours in length, so it's not too bad. Definitely shorter than Silent Hill 2 Remake. And this game is more combat based. in those Silent Hill games. Let's see. Let me know, guys. Let me know. It gets warm in this studio. These actually help with the padding, soundproofing. We got ones like on the walls here, in here. Back here. All right, a few more minutes. See if anyone else has a question. Anybody wants to know anything? Trying to think. I probably think I shared everything. I think I did, yeah. All right, guys. I think it's time to go. This was a fun experience. All right, so stay tuned for Silent Hill F. Most likely, we're going to be streaming it this Friday. And then we'll be doing that for the next couple of weekends. And then November, I think I might take a hiatus from the channel to focus on finishing out with my book, with my fantasy book, so that I can get that published and ready to go for the holidays. All right. If before we go, does anyone have any more questions? Hey, Keith, 15, excited for the next stream. All right, it's great to hear. Great to hear, man. All right, a few more minutes. We'll go to 1:30. Do you have any questions? And excited for the book. Thank you, Keith. I'm excited too. I've been working on this book now for a good 20 years. So has been a book that I've been working on and off for many, many, many years. Like I said, the idea for the book came to me around 2004, 2005. I had written the book in my diary, just like the very beginnings. And I look back at it, as I still have it. The original character was going to be called Travis Zeke. I changed him to Axel Handler. But Travis might be a name that I might want to use in a future installment, maybe another Axel's Legacy book, or maybe even a different story. But the original character's name was going to be called Travis Zeke, but I did change it to Axel Handler. So the main 7 characters that you get introduced, at least in this first book: Axel Handler, Eva Portier, Sydney Irvine, Jinx Taylor, Sebastian Kierden, Ramsey Strider, and Diesel Malascuni. You also have King Armando Portier, but he's more of a side character. And you have this other character, Ike, who gets introduced later on. But those 7 are the main characters. They're the ones that go on this quest. All right, this is it, guys. We are at the end. Does anyone have any more questions before we end the stream? Gonna buy an Axel Handler shirt. Nice. That'd be cool, right? All right, guys. Well, it was a pleasure meeting with you guys on this Monday for an hour and a half. I got to share my amazing experience at New York Comic Con and share some upcoming projects I've been working on and answer some of your questions as well as some streams I'm going to be streaming as well. Um, and giving a shout out to my friend Keith and also my friend Notorious Base. This was a lot of fun. Definitely going to be doing these live announcements in the future like this. I really did enjoy this. So stay tuned. Look at the community post, look on my channel. Once again, subscribe if you're new to the channel below. Click notification to all, like the video, comment, and share. And as I say to all my survivors out there and Survivor Squad, stay vigilant and have a good day and enjoy the rest of your week, everyone. Bye bye. So, how do we end this stream? That's the real question. I think it's X. All right, let me see. All right, I believe this is it. All right, bye. All right, guys, take care. Have a great week. See you on the weekend.